a Christmas miracle in Denver as the New England Patriots pick up their fourth win of the 2023 season, 26-23 over the Denver Broncos, thanks to a Chad Ryland 56-yarder as time basically expired. It was with 2 seconds left, but the New England Patriots stroll up into the Mile High City and pick up a win. There's a lot of implications, a lot of discussion surrounding this game, and we'll get to all of it in today's show as well. But make sure you do subscribe to the channel as we are going to bring daily Patriots content for you, whether it be on Christmas Eve. We had a watch party for it. If you couldn't tune in, it's all right. I'll give you a synopsis of the game and what it means for the Patriots' future. But also join the channel because it is going to be a fun offseason when it comes to Bill Belichick rumors, draft rumors, and free agency rumors as well. But let's obviously dive into this game because New England picks up their fourth win, and immediately first people are going to react to the future of this team, which is completely fair if you ask me, right? When Harrison and I have been talking about this over the past week or 2 weeks, is that the only thing that matters for the rest of the season is securing this team's future, which really meant a top 2 pick, so you'd be able to select one of Caleb Williams or Drake May without having to trade up. Well, that's obviously not going to be the case anymore because after this Patriots win, they now sit at 4-11, which is now the 4th overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. It goes Carolina to Chicago at number 1. Arizona slides up to number 2 with their 3-12 record. And then the Patriots and Commanders share the same record at 4-11. And New England does not hold the tiebreaker. You might ask yourself, how is that possible? The Patriots literally lost to the Commanders. Shouldn't that mean the Patriots are picking ahead of them? Well, no, it actually goes a little bit differently when it comes to draft order than it does in the postseason. It does not go head-to-head. It actually goes based off strength of schedule. And if you're hearing that for the first time, you might ask yourself and ask me then, well, then what are the strength of schedules? Well, glad you asked because I got them to the left of me here. So the Patriots' strength of schedule through Week 16 is 522. The Washington Commanders, 520, which means they are .002 away from being tied for the strength of schedule. So it is not out of the realm of possibility that New England could lose out, finish 4-13. The Commanders lose out and finish 4-13. But the Patriots actually jump from 4-3 in the draft order just based off strength of schedule. And some Patriots fans might actually want that because long term, if Marvin Harrison Jr. does declare for the NFL draft, you might be able to just sit at 3 and take him. Or hell, the Cardinals picking at 2 might elect to take Marvin Harrison Jr., keep Kyler Murray for the long term, and then Drake May falls into your lap at number 3. So for the people that are wanting to tank and secure a top 2 pick to get either Caleb Williams or Drake May, yes, this win does sting and hurt that little train a little bit. But to think that the Patriots are out of the possibility to taking Drake May or Caleb Williams, well, Caleb Williams, I'll say yes, because you're going to need a top 2 selection at bare minimum. But Drake May, you are not out of it because you can finish at that 3rd pick, depending on strength of schedule, and potentially have him fall in your lap if Arizona takes Marvin Harrison Jr., or you take MHJ, or you just do whatever you want and trade up, which we'll talk about in just a second. But I do want to talk a little bit about this game because I thought the Patriots showed some real incredible guts in adversity. And I know a lot of Patriots fans are going to want to see them lose out for that draft pick for all the stuff we just mentioned. But it's good to see New England, with their young roster and missing a lot of key players, overcome adversity and be a playoff caliber team that was fighting for their lives. Let's not overstate the fact that the Denver Broncos came into this game 7-7. They needed to win out to secure a playoff spot. Now they have to win and get a shit ton of help, but it's unlikely. The Broncos knew coming into this ball game that if they won out and got to 10-7, they would have a good chance to make the postseason, which basically made this a playoff game for Denver at home. And a Bailey Zappe-led New England Patriots just walked right up into Denver and got a win on the road, which, by the way, is the second time in 2 games that the Patriots win on the road in primetime. Thursday against the Steelers 2 weeks ago, and then tonight against the Denver Broncos. Bailey Zappe played one hell of a ball game, 25 of 33, 256 yards, 2 touchdowns, only took 2 sacks. I thought he did a lot of good things. There were times where he was a little inaccurate with the football, to call a spade, and there's times where he just looks for the check down too early. Maybe that's because the Patriots pass catchers aren't getting open downfield. They were without Juju Smith-Schuster today, and their best pass catcher, you could argue, in Hunter Henry, alongside running back Ramondre Stevenson. But they were able to make things happen. Demario Douglas led the team in receiving yards with 74 yards, on 5 catches. He was terrific, and he basically dominated the first drive of the second half for New England. He had a 50-yard catch just about. He mossed a guy, which if you're thinking, Demario Douglas mossed a guy, yeah, he did. Set up New England the 25, 30-yard line, and then ran a nasty whip route from the slot and picked up another 15, which got New England into the red zone, which allowed Bailey Zappe to find Ezekiel Elliott for a touchdown. And it just really sparked the Patriots' run, which then resulted in them also being able to get a kick return fumble for a touchdown, as Marvin Mims did fumble the ball. So I thought he played terrific. Davante Parker set up Chad Ryland's game-winning field goal attempt, which we'll talk about here just in a second, with a really nice back shoulder ball from Zappe while being defended by Patrick Surtain, who you can argue is the best cornerback in all of football. You can argue that in Denver. And Davante Parker cooked him on a back shoulder, perfectly placed ball by Bailey Zappe to get that to Parker and set up New England for that game-winning field goal. We'll talk about Chad Ryland and that game-winning field goal in just a second, but I have to show some love to our sponsor on today's show, which is Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks is daily fantasy sports made easy, is daily fantasy sports made fun. How to play? You pick 2 to 6 player stat projections. You pick more than or less than on their projected stat totals, and you can watch the winnings roll in up to 25 times your money. Yes, you heard that correctly. If you go a power play, which means you have to get all of them right, and you pick 6 players, that's 25 times your money. Rapper Meek Mill plays Prize Picks every day. I play Prize Picks every day. Comedian Andrew Schultz plays Prize Picks every single day. So join us over at the #1 daily fantasy sports platform in North America. You don't have to play pros or sharks. Just play the numbers. Join us, prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use code CLNS to get that first deposit match up to $100. All right, let's talk about the kicker, Chad Ryland, because he obviously made that 56-yarder with 2 seconds left, which just absolutely was netted. It's obviously mile high, and Chad Ryland coming out of Maryland, the scouting report on him was that he had a big leg. That kick he made from 56 would have probably been good from about 62, 63. He booted the thing. And I've been very critical of Chad Ryland. And I tweeted it out. If you want to follow me, plug it, at Nic_Rohloff on Twitter /X. I tweeted out in the middle of the game that Chad Ryland is the worst player in the NFL. Not the worst kicker, the worst player in the NFL, and that the Patriots should cut him tomorrow. Well, why did I tweet that? He missed a field goal and an extra point in this game. But talk about a Christmas Eve redemption story as Ryland just absolutely put his nuts on the table and kicked a game-winning field goal from 56 yards to give the Patriots the win on the holiday. And I still don't know if Chad Ryland deserves to be the kicker long-term for the Patriots because of how bad and inconsistent he has been. But I just feel good for the human that is Chad Ryland. And it's hard not to feel good for him, right? He literally was on the verge of being run out of the NFL. I'm not kidding. If he missed that 56-yard field goal, he would not have a job tomorrow, and he might never kick in the NFL again because of how bad he's been as a rookie. That 56-yarder saved his career, and it might have saved his legacy in New England, because I actually do think the Patriots would have cut him tomorrow if he missed that. I'm being dead serious. It would have been cold on Christmas to cut him, but with how bad he's been over the last month and a half, and then he missed would have been 2 field goals and an extra point in this one, you would have cost this team the game. But luckily, he sacked up and hit the game-winning field goal when it needed to be hit, and now he saved his job. So shout out to Chad Ryland for getting the job done when it mattered most. But before we do head out of here, I do want to mention one more time about the draft order. And yes, I know it's going to sting. New England's now sitting at 4th in that 2024 draft order. They don't have the top 2 selection to take Drake May with their own pick. Maybe they do get moved up to that 3rd spot depending on strength of schedule. If them and Washington both lose, it's possible they only trail by .002 strength of schedule. But here's the thing that I want to talk, and I want to bring everybody in close here on Patriots today. If you want to draft Drake May or Caleb Williams, you can still do so. And the reason why I say that is because the top 2 teams selecting right now are not even sold if they want to draft a quarterback. The Bears hold pick number 1. Their QB is Justin Fields, and if you ask their fan base, I think 65% of them will say they want to keep Justin Fields and trade out of number 1. Petey's looking at me over now saying no. I'm telling you right now, you go to that Bears Now comment section, 65% want to keep Justin Fields. Now let's look to Arizona. They have Kyler Murray. They just signed him to a max contract extension just a year ago. Are they going to move on from him already? He just came back from ACL injury. He's been working back, and this roster is horrific. Would they rather trade back and build for the future around Kyler Murray, or are they going to trade Kyler Murray and draft Drake May at 2? I think it's the latter. I think they end up trading out of number 2, or they hold firm with that number 2 selection and take Marvin Harrison Jr., which means they're open to be trading back from 2, or Drake May slides back to number 3, where it's either going to be us if we lose out or Washington based on strength of schedule. But the moral of the story is, if you really want to draft Drake May and Caleb Williams, and the Patriots organization, whoever is in that decision-making spot deems one of those 2 quarterbacks as the franchise QB for New England for the next 15 seasons, then you move heavens and earth to move up in the top 2 and draft one of them. I do not care about giving up future assets. If New England thinks one of these 2 QB prospects is the future of the franchise, you trade up and get them. This win does not take you out of Drake May and Caleb Williams. Does it hurt? Yes. It does not take you out, because if you want to get them, you control your own destiny, because those picks will be available to be traded up for and grabbing one of those 2 quarterbacks. That'll do it for today's post-game show. Appreciate everybody who stayed in throughout the entire video. If you are not subscribed, well, what are you doing? Because you obviously love what I brought to the table today. So subscribe to the Patriots Today channel today. And also, enjoy your Christmas, enjoy your holidays, and as always, go Pats.